Good afternoon, House District 60, sitting here in Salem of Friday, what is it, May 2nd, getting ready to head home here shortly. 2 weeks since we done our last video, or Moments with Mark. Appreciate not getting one out last week. We were on our road to Klamath Falls for our last Ways and Means Roadshow. So Ways and Means Roadshow I've talked about a couple times. We traveled across the state, had public hearings in Klamath. There were several hundred people there. I think we got through almost 60 people to testify. A lot of the needs that we see are wastewater, sewer projects for communities, staffing for home health, DSP. Just been good to get across the state and at least go in those communities so people can know that we're listening to them. A couple things that we've been working on the last 2 weeks. House Bill 3372. It allows, somebody in a domestic well to use 3,000 gallons to raise some vegetables and take them to a farmer market. In spring of 2024, Water Resource Department said if you didn't have a water right, you couldn't even take vegetables to a farmer market. You couldn't sell cut flowers. So there was a misinterpretation, we believe, of the domestic well exception. So we do have a bill that would allow 3,000 gallons a day for a domestic well to be used for commercial activity or irrigation so that people can take stuff to farmers markets and the like. Should be on the Senate floor probably, a week or two. We hope to get that across. We did have the Grant County House Bill 3328 make it through the process to the Senate side, which allow Grant County to look at some SRS Title I funding for Sheriff Patrol and everything like that. It's permissive to allow the county to do it. So when the budget conversations come up next time, because it won't take effect until January 1st, 2026. But that one came from Judge Hampshire in Grant County, and we got that one across the line for him. We also had House Bill 2170 signed by the Speaker and the Senate President. This was the aquatic invasive mussels. So we had a Owyhee Reservoir, Owyhee Irrigation District reach out to us and say, hey, we want to staff some vehicle inspection ports, but right now you cannot do that unless you're with ODF and W. So we expanded the authority so local communities can help set up check stations to look for aquatic invasive. That's actually a good bill. That was a little awkward. Something that the House Republican office did this week that I fully support is we did put out a Republican alternative to the transportation package. So our Democrat friends put out a transportation package that raises revenue for like $1.8 billion, a gas tax of 20 cents, vehicle registration increases. I've talked about it in other videos. We put out a perspective of where we do not need revenue increases. We can maintain the services that ODOT needs to perform, the equity maintenance of our infrastructure, of roads and bridges, making sure there's enough employees to plow snow when it needs to be done, making sure that the white lines are striped, that people can read them without revenue increases. It will take some trimming of ODOT. I mean, some of the things that we would require that would be trimmed was, relocate vacancies, can save $68.3 million. The lease of the unused office space at ODOT headquarters, $55 million. 3% agency staff reduction, passenger rail of $38 million, vehicle privilege tax of $35 million, social equity and civil rights division cut of $24.9 million. And even look at like there's a news article today that said they're going to put back the electrical vehicle rebates funded by the state of Oregon. So you can go buy an electric vehicle and the state will give you $7,500 back. I'm troubled with some of that is when we don't have enough staffing to do maintenance. We say we got to raise revenue by $1.8 billion, but we're still giving things out that don't go to the core mission of ODOT. We still haven't done a full audit on ODOT to see where all the funding's gone. And I'll say that the cost to maintain roads has gone up, but I also say there's enough money currently in ODOT if we prioritize not to have to raise revenue on Oregonians. I'm going to stick strong with that. I think my colleagues are too. Let's go back to basics, especially in ODOT. What else is going on? I'm still having conversations with Harney County, the city and the tribe there to accommodate some of the flooding issues. The sewer is still overwhelmed. We met with the co-chairs of Ways and Means today to try to allocate some emergency funding to make sure that we can get rid of the outhouses and have a functioning sewer. The conversations now are drifting from policy to more Ways and Means conversations. The last revenue forecast will come out May 14th. That's an important day. So 12 days from today, we'll understand what the budget allocations can be for this session. And that'll open the doors to some of our policy that had funding requests with them. It'll open up some of the doors for our capital construction requests. One of those bills, I was able to meet with the Oregon Logger Association yesterday, House Bill 3103, which is sustainable harvest levels on state forest lands. Got it out of committee unanimously. Unfortunately, it made the Oregon Conservation Network major threat list. This isn't a major threat at all, but it does have a $1 million budget ask with it because ODF says they need to fill 2 positions. So even some of our good policy that would help natural resources is getting tied up in this budget conversation. So hopefully we can get some leeway and get some of those bills through. I want to give a shout out to Brendan Smith, Chad Cargish, and Jeff Rose, who came down from Harney County and talked about a high desert partnership, able to take out some leaders and others to dinner and talk about the good work that they've been doing in Burns and Harney County. Why don't we leave it at that for this week, and we'll look forward to talking to you guys next Friday. Be safe.